We were talking about it the other day. Or not even the other day. We were talking about it just out there a minute ago. That our generation and Gen Z are the best educated and lowest paid in America's history. That we pay the most rent, the most in childcare costs, the most in healthcare in America's history. That all the ways that like...
And that's adjusting for inflation and things.
Yeah.
Right, correct. I just want to point that out.
Yeah.
Because people always want to...
That the baby boomers, like, at our age, had over, like, 40% of the wealth in the country at our age. And we have, like, I think it's, like, fucking 10, 11%, or something like that. Some tiny number. And it's like, it's just not set up for fucking human happiness and stability. It's just not. It was a little bit, kinda. It was okay. It was sustainable. And then over the past 80, 90 years, it became very, very unsustainable very fast. And the people who made it that way are fine. Everybody else is fucked. And here we sit, trying like hell with overqualified to be successful millionaires if we were boomers, and struggling to make ends meet as millennials.
I'm not comfortable with that.
And that's a great place to start the podcast. Hi, everybody. We were getting real sad before you came in, so we're going to try to change the tone and talk about maybe this, maybe other stuff. I'm Forrest.
I'm Ben.
And this is...
the podcast we do together.
I'm not comfortable with this. So normally, right there at the break, I would just immediately start in, but there was about fucking 45 minutes of me hacking up a lung, because immediately when we said the name of the podcast and started the show, I just inhaled like a cup and a half of water. So like here we are now starting, and hey, fun thing to think about, the cells in your lungs and up in your trachea, they're called columnar cells, and they're really cool because all over like your skin and whatnot, you have these things called squamous cells. Squamous. I've heard both. Yeah. I like squamous.
Squamous.
And they're just like scaly. They're like real flat.
I call them squamous just for the express purpose of going against you.
Yeah, man. A lot of biologists call them squamous. I learned it as squamous. I'm calling them squamous.
All right.
But
tell me about these squamous.
They're just layered, stratified, usually stratified. Sometimes they're in single layer, but like they're just kind of flattened, semi-irregular little shapes. And in your lungs, you have a different kind of cell tissue called columnar cells. So if you look at your right into where your windpipe bifurcates and goes into your lungs, you have this layer of cells lining these tubes that are like these long cylinders, and on the tops of them, on the inner edges that are facing where your air goes through, they've got these little like cilia. They've got these hairs basically coming off of them, like tentacles, and they lay them flat and slide them down, and then floof them up over the top of them like they're doing the wave. And then they go back flat and slide to the back, and then whoop up over the top with their little hair arms outstretched up. And by doing this motion, they push phlegm, they push mucus up against gravity up your lungs. And so that's why when you have gross shit caught in your lungs, these little cilia, these columnar cells, are always pushing it up out of your lungs so that you can you don't aspirate, you don't get choked on it. And that's why smokers have really bad coughs, because the more you smoke, when you put this stuff into your lungs, this dry, carcinogenic nastiness, it kills that layer of columnar cells. And so you end up with these dead patches all along these pathways, all along these bronchial paths. where you don't have any cilia working. And so the phlegm goes up to a certain point and can't naturally go up past it. So you have to hack and cough and wheeze to get it up past that point, unless you stop smoking for a long time, and then those cells start to regrow. And that's why for the first few weeks after you stop smoking, first few days really, but it can go into weeks, you're hacking and coughing and all sorts of gunk is coming up, because literally your body, this is very, very vascular tissue, it heals very fast. Your body is literally regrowing cells and making it work properly, and all the shit that should have been coming out of your lungs for however long you've been smoking is now finally getting the chance to do so. And so, like, every time I'm sitting here hacking and coughing and choking on water, I'm just thinking about my little dudes in there.
It's because you smoked so many cigars.
So many. You don't inhale those, but, like, yeah. I don't.
You did, though, and that was your mistake.
I didn't. I've just for clarification, I don't smoke cigars, and I don't recommend anyone smoke cigars. I think I smoked, like, 3 in my life.
I don't think you've ever, maybe.
Yeah,
maybe. I think
wanted to look
one
cool.
time, I think there was a cigar once.
Yeah, at like a hookah lounge, and I wanted to be extra fancy. Smoke a big, fat, nasty chode of a cigar.
Yeah. So, like you said, never.
Just don't do it. I don't understand cigars. Anyway, but none of that.
Literally, I'm pretty sure the whole thing is just for the fuck. It's something you do to try to look cool, but only when you're like old,
right? But like that's the thing. Some people like
love
really
the taste. I don't know.
Really enjoy it, and some people really enjoy like fancy. Like,
okay, well, I quit cigarettes and I enjoyed smoking cigarettes.
Did you really?
Yeah.
I've never met a single person say that they enjoyed smoking cigarettes.
I didn't enjoy like the addiction.
But did you enjoy like the flavor and whatnot?
Not necessarily even the flavor. I just enjoyed the fucking like I mean, I was addicted. So maybe I did enjoy the addiction.
You didn't enjoy it.
But like it's because like I guess I'm thinking I'm nostalgic for it is the problem.
Just something to do.
Like I really miss it.
Because like I do like occasionally I'll smoke.
But also I don't want to do it ever again because now it's like at this point it's like whoa.
I haven't done it in a very long time, but like every now and then, like every year or 5 years or something like that, I'll smoke like a pipe.
Yeah, every 5 years.
Yeah, I'll either smoke a pipe or maybe like one cigarette or a cigar or something like that, but I nothing that I inhale. Like even a cigarette, I wouldn't put it in my lungs because
you should.
I do actually enjoy the flavor of tobacco smoke every now and then.
Yeah, but that's just because you know.
Well, I grew up with it probably.
Grew up around it.
But also, like honestly, tobacco. Just like if you go to like a good like a pipe shop.
If you get really clean tobacco, it is pretty enjoyable.
It smells wonderful, and they come in all sorts of different like there's little flavors added. Sometimes you get different cuts.
We gotta stop.
Well, I'm not like I said. I don't.
No, we're sitting here. We're like, of course you should never do it. Here's my favorite kind.
Well, like everybody, like what I want to get across.
I know. I feel like I fucked us up here.
We might have been off on the wrong foot, but like I don't drink alcohol. And, like, I have every opportunity to. I think it tastes nasty. And like, everyone's like, oh, this is the best rum. This is the best vodka. But it all tastes like fucking shit.
Yeah.
It all tastes like shit. None of it's good. Even when they're like, this is this beautiful brandy with, like, notes of vanilla and
nobody drinks alcohol because they're like, because it's good.
No, some people do, though.
No, they don't. Not really. It's still just like you're dressing up the
cigars really always taste like a fucking moldy foot, and it's nasty. Like but like a pipe every now and then, you're not inhaling that, you're just tasting the smoke, and that's fun. But it can still give you fucking cancer, so don't do it.
It's all bad. It's all carcinogenic as fuck.
I think I've smoked a pipe like four or five times in my life. It's a pleasant thing to do every now and then, but like I wouldn't do it every fucking day. You know what I mean? But like even that, like it's a weighted risk. I understand that there are a lot of things that are carcinogenic. I'm not going to do that a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't understand drinking. I don't understand, like, they probably are. I don't know. There's different things that I suppose people find pleasurable that I don't understand. Fucking Neil deGrasse Tyson talks all about how much he loves wine. And he'll get all these different wines and try different, like, all these different flavors. I'm like, wine just fucking tastes like moldy grape juice. It's shit. It's awful. I've tried all sorts of different wines. Fancy wines, terrible wines, box wine. I've tried the best ones at the liquor store and like, oh, everyone loves these ones, even the non-wine drinkers. And it all just tastes like fucking it should go in a car. Like a gasoline. It's gross. It's all gross. And beer.
Really?
Don't get me started on beer. Jesus Christ.
Is there any kind of alcoholic drink that you enjoy at all?
Yeah, I'll take like a amaretto.
I fucking knew you were gonna say that.
But
With the almond too, you little fucking guy.
Amaretto and
it is good.
Like amaretto and cream or
fucking
amaretto
White
sour.
Russian?
I'll do that. No, it tastes like shit.
White Russians are great.
Fucking, you get me an old fashioned. Fuck that. And beer's nasty.
Beer's pretty
just,
gross. Yeah.
Beer's just fucking. It tastes like moldy bread.
I do like beer though.
Why?
Certain beers. I don't like beer. Well, sometimes I just like to drink
Here's
a little bit.
Here's okay.
And feel the difference.
The difference.
Yeah, that's what I call when you. That's not what this podcast is about. But when you take a substance to alter your mood, the difference.
Bro, no, I get that. I get the difference.
You want to feel the difference.
But like, I don't get it with alcohol. And I'll tell you, fucking, this is okay. Cards on the table. Embarrassing truth about Forrest here. Okay, I fucking hate beer. It tastes like shit. But
that's
like
not
once,
embarrassing.
no. But what is embarrassing is that like once every 6 months or so, I'll go to the liquor store and grab like they have like the make your own 6-packs and shit. Or sometimes they don't. And I'll just buy like 12 different 6-packs.
I know of like weird hipster beer.
Different things from different places all around the world that I think maybe look cool or sound cool. And I'll take one sip of it, dump the rest of it out. And I always have like 80 beers in my fridge. And I just wait for friends to come over to drink them for me. And I keep doing it because I want so badly to be like a big, strong man that likes beer. And I just can't do it. It just doesn't work. Yeah.
Oh man, I don't know. Like, I don't know what makes people like big and strong and men.
I don't know, man. It's not
probably not just
it's not beer. Cause fucking look at me. I'm a beefy machine.
Yeah, a beef machine.
Beef machine.
A beef cake. A beef cake.
So this week, off of this, Jesus Christ. This week, I wanted to talk a little bit about misinformation in general, but specifically there were a couple of things that I wanted to touch on that were fucking
right into it.
Really bothering me lately, just because I've been on this train, and that I think we've touched on this a little bit before. Like last week, we talked about gender a little bit.
Yeah, we touch a lot.
We did.
We did. Okay, yeah, I remember. Yeah, we did talk about gender.
we talked about
we had
gender.
a pretty good conversation about gender.
Yeah,
if I remember correctly.
And like
I
the
kind
whole
of learned a little bit more.
The whole point of it was that we were saying that like there are people out there that are just ignorant of science, that are unfortunately generally the ones pushing the narrative on how the science of gender and sex and sexual orientation are perceived in this country, in the world, really. And so when I, as a biologist who has studied gender quite a bit, come out and say, yes, trans men are men, trans women are women, I get ridiculed because they're like, oh, I learned in fucking high school that it's this. And it's like, okay, yeah, but you're missing a lot. And what sucks is that even then, like, I'm making fun of these people, but like, there are a lot of good people that believe these horrible things because of misinformation out there. So like, even then, I feel bad about mocking people sometimes because of how many good people believe these fucked up things.
Well,
and now it's Pride Month. This is
people,
June 1st today.
People, like ignorance is not an excuse.
Right, but
I can't say the stuff I'm ignorant about. It like, I'm not going to try to defend my past ignorances by saying
I would say that ignorance is an excuse for making a misstep. Ignorance is not an excuse for continued like willful ignorance, for like deliberately deciding you're not going to learn a thing. You know what I mean?
I guess
ignorance is an excuse if it's not intentional.
That's fair, but
ignorance is an excuse the first time, maybe the second time.
They're hurting a lot of people.
That's the point. That's the point. Is that right now it's Pride Month, and I want to make some more pro LGBTQIA content and like talk about why these things matter. And what's fucking frustrating about it is that like, there are some arguments that I just I don't even want to have. And this what a thing to bitch about, you know what I mean? Is that I don't want to have to go through the trouble of having an argument, but like
I get it.
So many times I have to say the same fucking things. And it's not just me saying it. I'm not some special dude, but like we have to have the same conversation. It's like with the masks and shit and the vaccine. I post shit on my Instagram or on TikTok or whatever, where I'm like, hey, wear a mask, get a vaccine. And I'll have the comments flooded with a bunch of fucking people like, oh, well, the vaccine, 3 people died after they got the vaccine. I'm like, are you the same motherfucker who said that COVID has a 99% cure rate, and now you're over here bitching about like the 3 problems we've had with the vaccine after 1 million doses? What the fuck ever? And no, but like nobody.
That's important to know.
Did they
have a reaction at all?
There have been some negative reactions. Yeah.
I mean, things happen.
I'm not
stupid.
Yeah, as there are to any
happen.
medication. And like people point to like, oh yeah, we've given like 6 million doses and 6 people got hurt. I'm not taking those odds. And I'm like, you're the same fucking asshole who was like, oh yeah, it's got a 98% cure rate. You don't have to wear a mask in public. Like, fuck off. You're just not wanting to participate because you've made it a political issue. But
the tracking chip is in the vaccine.
Well, dude, ever since I got it, my fucking 5G's bomb. So like, I'm doing it again if I could. But the thing is, what sucks about it is that this is it's just misinformation that we're having to fight over and over and over and over. And when you're dealing with things like vaccines, when you're dealing with things like LGBT rights and representation, when we're dealing with things like, we talk about religion quite a bit, when we're dealing with alternative medicine, that was something else I wanted to talk about. You have fucking smooth brain Gwyneth Paltrow selling fucking crystals that cure cancer. Did you watch...
Do they not cure cancer?
It turns out they don't, Ben.
Okay. Shit, the crystals don't... Well, that's weird. I don't think Gwyneth Paltrow would sell something that doesn't work.
I mean, who would believe it, right? Did you see when she sold fucking... It was psychic vampire repellent, and one of the ingredients on the jar was love?
Well, you have to put love in to propel, because psychic vampires feed off your negative emotions.
Exactly. Well, we all know this. I mean, we've all been to school.
I actually do know this. This is the type of shit I do. Like, I'm not saying I know this type of shit, but I'm saying, like, I know about this dumb shit because I've heard people try to say you have to look out for fucking psychic vampires.
You've heard the people who believe this explain it to you, is what you're saying. And so you understand where they're coming from. Is that what you mean?
I wouldn't say I understand where they're coming from.
Or that you nerded out about. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I just want to make sure I understand what you're saying.
I nerded out about it, yeah. Because you have to be careful about psychic vampires, Forrest, which are people who are narcissistic, maybe, and in a position of authority.
You're just trying to make it make sense.
Words. Word salad.
But like,
word salad.
What sucks about these things is that they cause real harm. And it's not just like, oh, these people believe silly things.
You think well, so you don't believe in psychic vampires then?
I have to say that I don't. I have to take a hard stance here and say that I don't believe in psychic vampires, yo.
I feel like this is when we need like the Google up so I can show you, like, so we can research psychic vampires real quick, and then you can be like, actually.
So let's go through points A through Z as to why this is fucking horseshit.
But seriously, there aren't really like there.
You don't have to explain that there aren't psychic vampires. Like,
no. What they say is it's like people. What they're really talking about when they try to talk about psychic vampires are people who come around and they're like emotionally draining.
Is that what they're talking about?
No, because that's what they try to say. So with shit like this, there's always like a real life comparison that makes it sound valid. Right. And that the validity in this instance is people who are emotionally draining. And you know what those people are like because we've all been around people who are emotionally draining, but they're not psychic vampires. They're people who are emotionally draining. Yeah, exactly.
Draining. And like having a fucking jar.
They're not like psychically drained. They're not like fucking... They're not sucking it out of you.
Having a fucking glass vial with tiger's eye rocks floating in it is not going to repel emotionally draining people.
It's cool, though.
If it worked, we'd all be doing it.
It's cool. It just doesn't do anything.
Right. That's the problem.
No, trinkets are cool, man, but they don't do anything.
What bothers me about it, though, is that we have people out here that are pushing this shit as if it's real.
Yeah, and stop thinking it's cool. Wait, can't you just collect cool rocks?
Yeah, we all. But
can't
like,
you just
but we
this
don't.
Is a cool rock.
But we don't. We pick up the fucking cool rock, and then we're like, hey, if you hold on to this long enough, you probably won't get fucking scabies. And then people believe that, and they don't go to a fucking doctor. That's what bothers me. That's where it that gets me. Because I don't care if you want to believe weird shit. I really don't.
Doctors are expensive, man.
If you personally want to believe that fucking rocks are going to cure your illnesses, that you can use essential oils and take care of your whatever, that you can go to the chiropractor and he's going to pop your back and then all of a sudden you don't have diabetes anymore. If you want to believe these things, fine. You do you. The problem that I have with it is when you go out and teach it to kids and you make a business telling people not to trust science, not to trust medical professionals, not to trust fucking scientists and engineers and people who know what the fuck they're doing and dedicate their lives to these things because you had a feeling and a vision and you meditated on it and fucking Keira Knightley came to you in a dream and now you know that this...
Forrest, this is the country of Flammery.
It is.
That shit's gonna sell here.
It is. Unfortunately, you're correct.
Really well.
Yeah.
Because you're allowed to be a flimmerer.
A flim-flamming fool.
A flim-flamming fool. It's bad out there, but you can sell bullshit and bullshit sells.
Did you know fucking...
Also, again, I'm going to bring up, it's cheaper. It's much cheaper for me to go buy essential oils and put those in a diffuser than it is for me to go to a doctor.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Hold on.
Okay.
Maybe not in the long run.
That's what I'm saying.
If you're going to be logical and bring out the long run, that's fine.
But
like, I can put peppermint in a diffuser and make my tummy feel better.
Sure.
Like, you know what I mean?
Well, and like...
Because, like, stuff like that does have physical reactions, but it's not curing anything.
That's the thing, is that, like, for example, chiropractics. Chiropractic has been actually scientifically proven. It's mechanically manipulating and fixing mechanical problems with the body. It has been proven to be an effective treatment for some back and neck and shoulder and joint pain and shit. Sometimes it can kind of help to realign those things a little bit and get them right. But what you have, the problem is with fucking all these chiropractors that are out there like, oh yeah, you gotta fucking drink our herbal tea and take off the fucking mask with chemicals on it and get the toxins out of your body, and then I'll pop your fucking fingers and that'll send triggers to your brain that takes away your ulcers and fucking
Wait a minute, do the chiropractors say that?
Yes, there's
I thought they literally just popped your neck.
No, well there are some that do just like pop your joints and they make your joints feel okay.
That's what they're supposed to do.
That's what they're supposed to do.
And eat their dead.
But and then consume the flesh of the dead. But like, there are a lot of chiropractors out there that are also pushing holistic medicines and shit. Well, holistic medicine gets me because if you look it up, a lot of the times they say that like the smaller the dose, the more effective it is.
Okay, what goes into becoming a chiropractor?
You actually do need a degree. Like there are actually colleges and you do need to learn a tremendous amount of anatomy. They're not stupid.
Okay.
But they're fucking con artists.
They're flim-flam.
They're flim-flamming.
The American dream.
And like, but I've heard that so many times where they're like, these people who are pushing the idea that like water has memory. And when you fucking pass this medicine through the water and then take it out, the water molecules remember the medicine. So even though it's a super low dose, it actually works better than a main dose. Which means, if you think about that for one fucking second, you could forget to take the medicine and OD. Does that make fucking sense, you idiot? Like, I can't handle it.
Wait.
Have you never heard that?
No, I need you to run me through this.
This is an actual thing that I heard.
Are you talking about medicated water?
Yes. People, okay, so this is holistic medicine.
No, it's not.
This is holistic medicine.
First of all,
they say that the smaller the dose, the more effective it is. And they think that water has a memory and that through either emotion or vibes or whatever it is, you can make the water feel things and then drink it. There's a dude on TikTok right now selling small water. Small water. Because if you drink water, normal water, the water molecules are too big and you actually get dehydrated. And it dilutes all the minerals and vitamins. But with his special brand of small water, you can get hydrated on a cellular level.
Okay, so yeah.
These are all actual things this dude
said. So what
you're
saying is humans have been fucking dehydrated for like a million years.
Yeah, but for as long as we've been on this planet, we haven't had your special water. So we fucking just, how have we been living? Like... And also, fun fact...
he's like very wealthy now, right?
Yeah, he's making money hand over fist selling shit to people on TikTok because he's lying to them. And he's selling small water that hydrates you on a cellular level.
How much money
As if any fucking thing doesn't hydrate somebody on a cellular level. What the fuck is that? What? Because like that's the point of hydration. And like here's the thing that people don't fucking get. You can get too much water. If you don't have enough fucking dissolved like electrolytes in your water, it can actually fuck you up.
Big.
Yeah, it's just too big.
Water.
But it's so different than what he's saying, and it makes no sense, and it's not a thing for any normal person to have to worry about.
I get it.
Ever.
Like, like how when they found those blood cells from like fucking prehistory and the snow.
Oh, the T-Rex.
And they were like, look how big it is. Remember?
I thought you were talking about the T-Rex DNA shit.
No, I just remembered one time that I read something about like a giant prehistoric bacteria discovered under the ice.
That's possible.
That sounds terrifying.
There are really
okay.
Look up stentors.
Molecules are like how? I mean, they have size.
Yeah,
right?
but the thing is that you have to know is that every single atom of the same species, of the same type, of the same element. So, like, say every single carbon atom in the entire universe
is the same size.
Is the same size. It's the same thing. Like, you can have differences, like with isotopes, where like they have different numbers of neutrons and shit, but like effectively, if you have this carbon atom and this carbon atom, or like these two different things, they are effectively the exact same thing. They're not two different unique carbon atoms. They are just two of the same thing.
Okay.
And so like that's one of the things like it's the Pauli exclusion principle. For example, it deals with electrons. That if you have...
Dumb it down.
If you have two electrons on the same orbital of an atom of the same spin, that would violate the laws of nature because those are literally the same thing. Even though it is two electrons, they're on the same position, in the same orientation. They are effectively the same thing. Therefore, it cannot physically... It would violate the laws of nature. You destroy space-time. So the Pauli exclusion principle says that on the same orbital, you have to have one spin up and one spin down electron. You can't have, for example, two spin down. And don't worry about what spin is. Just the point is that like you can't have two of the same kind of subatomic particle because it is literally the same thing.
I kind of know what spin is.
Everybody kind of knows. Nobody knows. Nobody knows.
That's good. Good to know that I also don't know.
But like that's the whole thing. So like when people talk about like, oh, this is bigger water and this is smaller water, no, it's fucking not. If it's H2O, it is the same goddamn thing. The only difference that you can have is if you had different, like, you can have heavy water, which has a different isotopic value, it has more neutrons in it. That's not going to change anything for you drinking it, really. Like, really? It's just not. It's just not. Like, you can have deuterium fucking, like, D2O, and we don't really know for sure what that does, but, like, the fact of the matter is, heavy water cycles through our fucking ecosystem all the time.
So you were like, basically, you were like, there is no big or small water, and then you were like, but there's two other kinds of water.
What I'm saying is, there are a lot of little things that can, like, change in an atom.
But if I drink it, it doesn't matter.
But it doesn't fucking matter. And, like, what this guy's talking about...
to my body, it's the same.
Exactly. So, like, nobody fucking
Does your body even digest on a molecular level? Is that even really how it works? How it absorbs?
Yeah, so, like, when you're talking about hydration, for example, like... So, you know the term osmosis, yeah?
Yeah.
So, osmosis, for those of you who don't know, is... For anybody who isn't familiar, osmosis is when water...
He's a cop.
Right. When water moves across a membrane, like a cell membrane or whatever... in order to get to a higher concentration of whatever dissolved ion, salt, sugar, whatever it may be. So say, for example, all of your cells do have, like, salts and sugar and stuff in them, right?
Yeah, right.
The water you drink has some dissolved solids in it, electrolytes, the same thing. It's just ions, like salts. You drink this water with electrolytes in it. If it's the same gradient of electrolytes outside of your cell and inside of your cell, the water's not going to do anything. If you have more inside your cell, then the water is going to flow into your cell. If you have more outside of your cell, water is going to flow from your cell out to where the more ions are. So, like, you can actually... That's why you can't drink salt water. If you drink salt water from the ocean, even though it is water, it's got more salt in it than your body does. And so it will literally
goes the opposite way.
Exactly. The more salt water you drink, the more you dehydrate your body because water gets pulled out of your cells to try to balance out the salt that you're putting in.
That is a terrifying concept.
And you can go backwards. If you drink pure distilled water all the time, it will pack into your cells and your cells can literally explode because they get so swollen with water. That's what happens sometimes when people do... oh, God. There's a bunch of stupid diets that have put people in the hospitals. And one of the things they have to do is pack these people full of like really high like salt water, like high concentration saline, to draw as much water as they possibly can out of their cells because these people are like bloated.
Yeah. What is it when you do air?
Coughing and shit.
Only air? You're a breatharian or whatever?
Oh, my God. These people who think they can survive off air. Yeah. And they convince people that they can actually survive. That is an
alternative fucking... I mean, that's a fucking alternative... It's not medicine, but it is like a... What do you call that?
Bullshit.
No.
It's called bullshit.
But I mean, like, what category do you put that in?
Oh,
bullshit is too wide.
Woo-woo is what I would put it in. Woo-woo is the term for when you say sciencey sounding things to try to sound spiritual and magical. And so when people are like, I can sustain myself off of only air and sunlight because my cells do blah, blah, blah. That's woo-woo. It's the same shit as when...
but they all die when they do it.
Yeah, no, they just...
They either cheat or they die.
They cheat, exactly. They just cheat. That's all they do. They just cheat.
But they died. That one lady died.
I'm sure somebody did because they're fucking stupid. And they believed it.
She lived as long as she could on air and sunlight. Mm-hmm. And she fucking died.
Probably just a few days.
Food and water.
Yeah. That's the thing, is like that's the problem with misinformation, is that it actually causes physical harm. It's not just, I made a bunch of money tricking some people.
Some people would argue, though, if you're that easily susceptible to something, like if somebody's like, you can just breathe, and somebody's like, all right.
Right.
That's like a problem solving itself.
But that's my issue, though, is that like fucking the Fox News has been sued multiple times.
Term. Just in and of itself.
Fox News has been sued over
thousands
Tucker Carlson.
Thousands of people just cut our fucking shit off.
Right.
I'm not going to listen to it ever again.
Tucker Carlson is just fucking, he just rampantly just says bullshit. And Fox News has been sued.
He's pretty bad.
By a lot of times. Fox News has been sued for people saying, hey, Tucker Carlson's literally just saying nonsense lies on air. This is misinformation. This is bullshit. This is libel. This is slander. You can't do this. And Fox News has won those court cases by saying no reasonable person would believe anything that comes out of his mouth. Do you remember when we were in high school?
Is that real?
Yes.
They're really saying, really using the, come on, how could you possibly take this seriously?
Do you remember
argument?
when we were in high school?
It's because it's on a channel called Fox News.
Yeah.
It's because it's being watched by people who use Fox News as their only news source.
Fox News has been sued for not telling the truth and calling it news, and they won those court cases by saying, we're not news, we're entertainment, we just call ourselves news.
I remember that.
Yes. When we were in high school, there was this, I don't know if it's still around or not, it was a brand of energy drink called Propel. That was sponsored by Coca-Cola. It's run by Coca-Cola.
I'm pretty sure it's still around.
Is it? It was, and all the commercials.
No. Propel was water.
Yeah. It was vitamin water.
Yeah. Vitamin water.
And Coca-Cola owns it. And all the commercials were like, drink Propel and get healthy. Drink Propel and go run a marathon. Drink Propel. And it's fucking soda water. Like it's flat soda with no color in it. It is terrible for you. And people sued and said, this is fucking crazy. This is bullshit. And they did the exact same thing. Coca-Cola won that lawsuit by saying no reasonable person would believe that you could actually drink this shit and get healthy. If you believe that, you're stupid and you deserve to be scammed. And they won their court case by saying that.
But it is actually water. They're calling it flavored water and saying that's
now they changed it a little bit, but that's how they won their court case back in the day. Fox News won a court case saying they're not really news. They just call themselves that. They won a court case saying that nobody would believe Tucker Carlson. Fucking Coca-Cola won a court case saying no reasonable person would believe anything that we say selling products. That's the thing. Is that
no reasonable person would believe advertisements?
That's how it works in this fucking country, is what I'm saying.
Why would you pay for advertisements?
Because they can dupe people. And that's what fucking kills me, is that you have people who like have shit all over their...
You about to get duped by the goop.
They have shit all over their fucking stuff saying, this isn't real medical advice. This isn't,
disclaimers.
Don't believe it, just a disclaimer, whatever. But if you drink a gallon of soy sauce, it's a total cleanse. It'll clean out your body.
So is it?
That's a real thing that happened, and people have fucking died from it, yes.
From soy sauce?
For drinking like a gallon of soy sauce at a time to do a cleanse.
From the sodium?
Yeah. Yeah, it overloads them and it completely dehydrates their brain like a raisin and they die. Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Like
well, you gotta, obviously you dilute your soy sauce. It's 2 gallons total.
2 gallons total.
It's a gallon of soy sauce mixed with a gallon of water.
It just, like, it
I know how to homeopath.
Because now we've got fucking...
I cut the homeopath through the homeo forest, my friend. My guy. You got me?
Homeo forest.
I'm in the homeo woods.
It just, it really fucking bugs me. And it tears up my mind and my heart because people are actually getting hurt and dying from this bullshit. And this is just medical shit. Like, fucking talk about... We were talking about Pride Month right now. You know how many fucking insane hate comments I'm seeing on people's videos about, like, fucking telling about how LGBT kids need mental help because that's what they've been taught?
Yeah, they need mental help because people treat them like shit.
Yeah, I need it too. If people treated me like that. Holy
yeah,
fuck.
That's why they need mental help.
But, like, that's...
because we abuse the fuck out of them.
It's this fucking ridiculous misinformation by people who don't know science, and they go out there and go, oh, it's unnatural. It's supposed to be one man, one woman. Yeah, fucking go find me any mammalian species that doesn't have any homosexuality in it. I
don't even give a fuck if all animals were straight, Forrest.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Like,
do what the fuck you want.
Like, there was a time when I believed that all animals were straight, and I still thought it was probably okay for people to be gay because
probably
they're people.
The best. Well, that is an argument that's valid. It's like it doesn't matter what is in nature. It's, you know, you can't draw an ought from an is. Like infanticide, we were talking about that a couple of weeks ago. Rampant in fucking a lot of primate populations. Doesn't mean we should do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, you can't say that it's unnatural. It's literally a thing that happens in nature. Fucking airplanes are unnatural, but guess what? We're animals that build them, so it's natural now. Like, you know, I don't know, man.
Goddamn, that's actually a terrifying concept.
What?
Because that means, like, the further we get, like, into space exploration, that's like natural for something to be able to do that.
You know what's really cool to think about? So there are two different when you like
really
intro,
making sure we don't feel special at all.
Yeah, you shouldn't. Intro to bio here for everybody.
Here,
you have
teach it in 5 minutes.
You have these two terms, genotype and phenotype. Mm-hmm. Your genotype is your genome, it's your DNA. It's what's coded into your body. Your phenotype is the actual physical manifestation of those things. So like what you actually look like and how you behave and what you do and all those things, those are your phenotype. So genotypically, I have, you know, whatever genes for being tall versus short for whatever. My phenotype is that I'm 6'2". You know what I mean? Strictly speaking. Well, okay, so
you lost me in the metaphor, I think, somewhere.
It's just to say that phenotype is physical manifestation. That's
okay.
So what's cool to think about is that like instinct and like behavior would fall into that. And so strictly speaking, like a beaver, for example, building a dam.
Yes.
That beaver dam is a part of that beaver's phenotype. What the fuck was that? I
think it was a water bottle.
Go
on, talking about the beaver.
So a beaver builds a dam. That's an instinctual behavior that it's coded into its DNA. Yeah. That's a part of its phenotype.
Right.
So you can link that dam, that, you know, pile of logs, you can link that back to the beaver's DNA. And so human behavior, whatever this weird human spark that we have to, you know, explore and dream and discover, the weird human ambition that makes us do crazy shit like build spacecrafts, strictly speaking, that's part of our DNA. That's a phenotype. That's an expression of our genetics. And if we were to become a galactic empire like I'm trying to do, that would be literally an outbranching, like a piece of us physically. That would be a branch of our genes spreading out into the stars.
They would say humans build fucking galactic empires.
Yeah. If that was a thing that we did.
Be in a book somewhere where even fucking more badass things write down bullshit about what we're doing.
Like fucking Dune, man.
Fucking Dune. Why would you bring that? I'm listening to a podcast about Dune and it's a fucking wild ride.
It's a great book.
I need to read it. It sounds insane. I remember when I read Brave New World, which is just a book about right now. But also, like, it's way more cynical about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like there's so many things that are right in that book, but then there's a bunch of shit where it's like, yeah, some of this is okay though, and then some of it is like really bad.
Yeah, it's like a Black Mirror, where it's like this is absolutely talking about technology that we have
Yeah,
now
no, I love
in its
Black
infancy.
Mirror. Nobody actually understands it, is how I feel about Black Mirror. Yeah, it is in its infancy, but it's also a lot of stuff with the problems like that people face in Black Mirror, like what's happening to them. That is now.
Right.
That is people. Those stories are about things we're dealing with now.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
100 years from now in the future when we have cameras in our eyes. It's like, no, that stuff. Spoilers.
If you don't want to hear Black Mirror spoilers, I don't know what the time. I can't put a timestamp on this.
Yeah, just fucking.
Just skip forward a bit.
Yeah, skip like 30 seconds. The one where the dude. Hang on.
Yeah, okay.
Now skip 30 seconds.
Well, they already did.
The one, they'll do it again. Where they block, like people block each other with their camera eyes. They fucking just show up as static.
Oh, yeah, I think so.
That's kind of what it's like when you block somebody on Facebook right now. Like, I mean, that's not like if you block people on social media and you never see them. It's like you never give them a chance to like say anything or apologize. It's like it's fucked up.
Yeah.
I have plenty of people blocked.
The spoilers are end, I think.
Spoilers are ended.
It's the end of the spoils.
It's like season 1 of a show that's been on TV for like years.
Fucking go watch it.
Yeah.
Go watch it. It's a lot of fun.
Jesus Christ.
But like the whole thing is Dune. The problem is that we have I at least was taught that you're supposed to just like live and let live and like, you know, let everybody have their own opinions and let everybody do their own thing. And I get that. I think that free speech should be protected. Like there are people, and I should point out, there are people that I respect that disagree with me on this. And I get their point of view. That I think that free speech should be protected at damn near all costs. And that, you know, the freedom to say even awful, hurtful, dehumanizing, horrific things, that's still a freedom that you should have. Because every time you say, okay, this is hate speech, we can't say this anymore, you're building a fucking a cage around yourself. You're limiting your own, and like, oh, I would never say that. Right. But then the next person who comes along and says, well, here's this other thing that's hate speech that actually isn't, you've now set precedent that they can do that. Also, if you really do think that, you know, hate speech should be outlawed and all these things, who is the person? Pick one person that you, or even a committee, God help you, a committee of people that you think should be the ones to dictate what you can and can't say and be exposed to. Another thing, not just what you can't say, what you can't hear and what you can't learn and watch.
No. It's got to be done by a computer.
That's even worse.
No. Super smart computer AI. With nothing but the best interest of mankind at heart.
Even if you took it that way. He's
run by crystals.
There is no person, no computer, no committee that I would trust to decide what I can't hear and be exposed to.
Well, it's not going to be about what you want after you set up the machine.
The machine. And even then, even if you decided that, who's the person who has to watch all the pornography in the world to decide what's acceptable?
Every galactic emperor thinks his empire is going to be the greatest empire in the entire universe. And you know what happens? He dies eventually.
Well, yeah.
And somebody else is in charge of the empire.
And it's going to get all fucked up.
And it's going to get all fucked up because good times make bad people. And bad people fuck up the galactic empire. And fucked up empires make hard people. And hard people fuck up the galactic empire.
It's a vicious cycle, man. We've all seen it. We've seen it 1,000 times. How many galactic empires do we have to watch crumble before we get the message? But like that's the
7.
7. But the whole thing I'm saying is that
go ahead.
I think that it's important that people be allowed to say and believe whatever the fuck they want. I also think that it's important that they get called out for it. But freedom of speech does not mean freedom from consequences.
We always hit on this too, yeah. But we always, what does that mean? Because we always say this. We always kind of like agree that like, oh, free speech has got to be the way to go. Mm-hmm. But I'm hearing more people make the argument that maybe we need to limit free speech, and they're not They're not.
They're
crazy,
good arguments.
They're not crazy people.
No, they make, like I said, there are people that I respect that disagree with me on this case, and they make really good arguments because the argument is that, excuse me, that free speech is not the end-all, be-all right. It's not the most important right. Human dignity is the most important right. And if your speech detracts from human dignity, then you're violating an essential human right. And I get where they're coming from. The disagreement that I have is that I think that the ability to say whatever the fuck I want is a dignity. Like that's a part of it. To tell somebody that you're not allowed to say this, it might hurt somebody else, is like saying you're not allowed to eat this steak because that person's a vegetarian. And like you're taking away my dignity by treating me like a child and telling me what I can and can't say. You know what I mean? And so like that's my issue with it. I understand entirely the harm that free speech can cause. Or that's
bad.
Yeah, fucking drink exploded. I understand very well how, especially like dehumanizing speech, has caused genocide and has caused wars and has really hurt people. I get that. But with sufficient free speech, we would be able to speak out against that dehumanizing bullshit rhetoric and stop it in its tracks.
You just unwittingly made the thumbnail.
By dumping water all over the place.
Yes.
Yeah. All the thumbnails, you should know, by the way, if you look at the thumbnails on our YouTube, every one of those is just an actual screenshot from this actual show. We have yet to stage or like post for a single one of those.
Some random bullshit.
And they make me so happy. They're all wonderful. But like that's my thing about it.
Good work though, by the way. Great, amazing fucking podcasting. And I just want to point that out. Like I've seen some shit in my day as a podcaster. That was good. Forrest spilled water everywhere. Water was pouring out like the Duke boys just crashed into a water tower in Louisiana or wherever the fuck. I know. I just wanted to make a fucking...
It soaked my notebook.
Dude, it went everywhere. And he just kept talking. Like, he just kept going.
You didn't know a thing happened.
No, they're going to
For all you know, I barely
so far away
sloshed
from
a bit.
that fucking microphone. But the performance never ended, not even for a second. And I have to commend you for that. Because that takes a lot of work.
Like, yeah, that's the blah, 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 with the free speech and all that.
Yeah.
So I think these people...
But I agree with you. Like, I ultimately, I pretty much agree with you.
Yeah. I think that you should be free to say whatever you want, but there should be, like, some... I don't know what kind of limitations there would be on Flammery and, like, how to limit or fix that.
Because technically you can determine what is Flammery.
If you're smart enough and if you know how to recognize it, sure. But like most people aren't equipped with that. And that's not to say they're stupid. It's just that a lot of people know how to make a lot of people believe anything. It's like fucking, I when I talk about religion all the time, I say, you know, if you teach a child that the moon's made of cheese and you put them in a building every single week where everybody says, yes, the moon's made of cheese. Praise be the moon made of cheese. If you don't believe the moon's made of cheese, you're a bad person. You're going to burn forever if you don't believe the moon's made of cheese. They're going to grow up believing it. They go be a fully functional adult. They can be a scientist. They can be an engineer. They can be a fucking airplane pilot, astronaut.
Yeah,
they can do whatever they want and still believe the moon's made of fucking cheese. They can go walk on the goddamn moon and believe that there's cheese in the middle somewhere, maybe.
It's like a different kind of cheese.
Exactly. It's cheese as a metaphor or whatever like that. Like, you're going to get people like that if you teach them that their whole lives. Like do you remember when we were kids? This is where, because people think I'm exaggerating and they're like, oh, you're being too mean. Think about this, okay? Look this fucking shit up.
Do they say you're being too mean?
Yes, I get that a lot.
Oh, fuck.
Fucking, you'll probably remember this. And if you don't, if you're too young to remember this or you don't know what I'm talking about, please look it up.
Oh, okay. For a second, I was like, I'm older than you. What are you talking about?
If it was like a decade ago or so, there were these 3 teenage girls here in America, that they took there's 2 girls and their 1 friend, so 3 total. They went out into the woods. And these 2 girls stabbed the 3rd one damn near to death. They tried to kill her.
Are you talking about Slender Man?
Yes. She survived miraculously.
They made a horrible movie about it. It's not good. The real story is way more terrifying. And
these 2 little girls.
It's pretty fucked.
These 2 little girls. Sad. Children. Teenagers. They lured
not bad kids.
No. No,
not really.
They're children.
Not
they're
by
just
most
children.
accounts. Yeah, by most accounts, they were pretty normal kids.
These little girls lured their friend out into the woods and tried to murder her. They stabbed her dozens of times because they wanted to become proxies for Slender Man.
Yeah.
They thought that Slender Man was real and that he would somehow like spare them their lives if they killed their friend or whatever the fuck it was. It's an internet fucking horror show.
You get to go live in the mansion with Slender Man.
Whatever the fuck.
You become one of his proxies. You have to lead someone out into the woods. You got to kill him, and then Slender Man will come give you a proxy. Here's the thing: it's all based on a bunch of creepypasta shit and 4chan posts.
It's fucking creepy shit from the internet that people made up.
Yeah, it's all cool stuff. It's fictional. It's really funny that we've made like an urban legend on the internet.
Yes.
That's really nice. That's cool.
But what's scary about it?
Yeah, but people died.
Is
people have
that
been
these
hurt.
fucking literal children attempted to murder their friend in a very violent way because they believed something that they read on the internet. And if that can happen, if a fucking internet creepypasta written by fucking nerds on 4chan can make people murder each other, then what the fuck do you think's gonna happen when you get a bunch of kids in a fucking church and teach them that the gays are fucking abnormal subhumans that deserve to burn for eternity? How do you think they're gonna fucking treat somebody? How the fuck do you think somebody's gonna behave when you're online saying, oh yeah, no, if you buy this fucking magic vampire repellent, you don't have to go to a doctor for cancer anymore? How the fuck do you think people are gonna fucking behave when you fucking teach them this bullshit? Alternative medicine, fucking, there's pedophiles running the White House and we have to go fucking hang everybody. How the fuck do you think the insurrection happened on January 6th? It didn't happen because a bunch of people sat down and was like, you know what would be fun today? I want to go fucking try to destroy democracy today. It's going to be a lot of... No, it's because of fucking bullshit misinformation that gets pushed out like it's real because cunts that know that they're making money are just doing it for fun. They don't fucking care what happens. In real life, they don't fucking care what happens to real people because they're making money hand over fucking fist.
And they typically won't be affected by it.
If you can have children murdering their friends over a fucking internet horror story, and you fucking think that it's okay for Gwyneth Paltrow to sell fucking, vagina-scented candles to fucking make you healthy, and you think it's okay for fucking Tucker Carlson to get on there and say different things every week that contradict himself and fucking tell people to go, if you see somebody in the street with a mask on, you need to go scream at them and call the cops. People are fucking doing that shit. Like, if you think that it's okay, I don't understand you. Like,
yeah, I don't understand why you need to approach anybody for any reason at any time. Like, so if Tucker if Tuxedo Sam is fucking telling people that they have to do that, I think that's very wrong. You shouldn't approach.
Did you see that clip?
I saw part of it.
He literally told people if you see somebody...
He said, I think you should walk up to him and ask him, why are you doing this? Or some shit
No, he said that you should tell them that you're offended and that they need to take it off. And that's, fuck you, whatever. He also said that if anybody tries to tell your children to wear a mask, like at school or whatever, that you need to treat it as if they are physically abusing your kid and you need to go fucking fight them and call CPS. If you see a parent having their kid wear a mask, you need to call CPS on that parent and have their kids taken away, try like hell. If you see fucking a business trying to make you wear a mask, you need to treat it as if they're fucking physically assaulting you and fight for your life and all. Like, people are actually fucking hurting each other because of this shit. Like, these are real consequences.
So you're talking to a bunch of people, because this is who he's talking to. It'd be like boomers.
Boomers.
Right? Boomers watch Fox News.
Yep.
They all have lead-addled brains, okay? Because they were born too early.
Yeah.
And they didn't take the fucking shit out of the gas in time. Okay, so all these people are running around with crazy brain. All right? So this is a serious problem where you got Tucker Carlson telling all the people with all the money and all the crazy brain to go into stores and assault people who work for corporate overlords.
Yeah. Yeah. Because they decided to keep
carrying out
safe.
The bidding of the corporate overlords.
Yeah.
Like, for doing so, like, they're even ultimately, even if you think the company is like an evil corporation,
even by his stupid logic
to do this, you're still hurting people who are literally just trying to make minimum wage an hour.
Mm-hmm.
And and pay for their little studio apartment they want to raise their families in, so that someday after they pull all of their bootstraps up, those same people will be able to support the Olive Garden again with all the money that they earned because they pulled themselves up again by said bootstraps
over and over.
I guess it's all going to pan out fine, and there's no reason to worry. And I cannot say Tucker Carlson's name tonight.
You shouldn't ever say
Tucker Carlson is actually correct.
What?
Yeah, if we use my circular logic, I just went around.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, no. He's an insane man. It's fucked up that he's having people, he's actually telling people. But that makes sense. Okay, so,
remember the time?
I see people in the mall, sometimes. Usually, most people just wear their masks.
Yeah.
Or they don't.
Yeah.
And nobody gives a fuck.
Right.
But certain stores, especially big stores owned by big companies that are national, will often require it.
Yeah.
And that's fine. To me, it's whatever. If that's what they want to do, I think they should be allowed to. I think if you want the one freedom, you need to have the other freedom too.
Yeah.
Because I keep seeing people say well, I don't want to wear a mask, and I'm like, fine, but if you're gonna do that, they should be allowed to require it.
Right.
In their store for their employees, they should be allowed to require
Pretend that their store is a Christian bakery and your stupid face is a gay wedding cake, and all of a sudden you'll support it, right?
God damn. But it. Just having I've seen people have these breakdown moments where they're yelling at some dude who doesn't make very much money to fucking.
It's a fucking temper tantrum. They're throwing fucking temper tantrums because they didn't get their way.
I don't have to wear a mask, and it's no, you don't. You also don't have to go to that store.
Yeah, it's not a fucking right. And they're like, well, you're open to the public. That means it's public property. No, it fucking doesn't, you idiot.
No, that's not how that works.
Yeah. It's just because I let the public in.
It's a public sphere. It's a public space.
Right. They have fucking
private
rules.
Property. Businesses are private property. I don't know.
They are. And even if you let the public in, you can still have fucking rules. It's fucking, I don't have to wear a mask.
And
it's
if
my
you don't
fucking
support
body.
those rules, if you don't support a business, don't support a business. Right. I, for one, think you have a right to pick and choose what companies you want to support.
For sure.
We were all taught about dollar votes and how important those are.
Just do that.
Just do your dollar votes.
Let the free market decide. Isn't that what you do? Yeah, if you really believe it so much. Just fucking, oh my God. What kills me is that, these people who are saying, oh, I shouldn't have to wear a mask. It's my body. Go outside, don't wear pants. See what happens. It's your body. You're not hurting anybody else. You're just fucking letting your dick flop in the breeze. Go outside, not wear pants. See how fucking long it honestly.
Well, I'm not gonna do that because I will lose my dick.
What fucking makes me want to rip my own goddamn eyeballs out like fucking Oedipus is fucking when people are saying, I'm not going to get the vaccine. It's my body. It's my choice. And the medical decisions that I make should only be between me and my doctor. And are you kidding me? And they literally just say everything that we've been saying about fucking abortion for years and years and years. And they're like, oh, no, because abortion's different because you're killing a person. But I have the right to make sure to expose a lot of people to a respiratory virus that's fucking deadly. I have the right to put dozens, if not hundreds of lives at risk. But don't you fucking kill the one thing that I consider to maybe be a person with my limited understanding of biology.
The problem with what you're saying, though, is that the water is so muddied on this topic. Just to take it down to a small level where we can dissect it.
Yeah.
The most recent thing we've gone through as a country, this whole pandemic.
This whole thing.
There is so much misinformation out there. Like you're saying, it's the problem. But there's so much out there piled on top of itself.
Yep.
You can't even begin to convince people who have been listening to one side of the story or the other of anything.
Dude, when I was fucking out protesting...
There's still people that believe 5G did all this.
Yeah.
What are you going to do about those people, man?
When I was out protesting this last summer, I was out standing on the street corner in my hometown holding up a sign that said Black Lives Matter. And a lady fucking pulled up and asked me who was paying me to be there. And I asked her what the fuck she meant. And she really, with her whole heart, thought that CNN had paid me to go stand on the street corner with a sign that said Black Lives Matter in order to piss off as many people as I could so that they would have a story or something for the night. And I was like, no, I actually took time off work to do this. I am losing money doing this. It just matters to me a lot. And she was like, oh, well, then you're a fool because you could be making a lot of money by doing it. And like, fucking, she really 110% believed this.
That's because they get their news from multiple incorrect sources, especially online from these weird places. But let me tell you something else. Those same people would come into the place where I work. That type of person. People came in from surrounding small town areas out here whenever the protests were winding up here in Tulsa.
Yeah.
People came into where I work and they would say things like, you know, I heard they're going to start bussing all these protesters out to the like small towns, essentially, like out to where we live.
Yeah.
And they're going to riot in like places like little bitty towns, places like further than like, I don't even know what to say. Like really tiny towns, like out in the sticks, the boonies, way out there, like tiny places. And they're like, yeah, they're going to bust these people. They were ready. They were like saying shit like, I like to see, they're going to come out here. Well, we're going to be ready for them. And like, they're going to see what happened. Like, and they literally thought people were going to pour out of the cities and riot in small town America.
And what sucks is that like, there were some people who fucking like traveled around to go to protests.
And they would have little tiny sidewalk protests and there would be like 8 of them. But they'd go to these little towns and do that. And those people were ready to fucking kill them.
Yes. That's what gets me.
And it's not necessarily because... It's because like those people obviously like they've got some ignorance going on. They need to improve.
Yeah.
But... it's because of the source of where they get their fucking information. Like these people are like winding them up. They're whipping them into a frenzy.
Right.
What do you do about that? What do you do about that?
You know what? And the shit of it is,
when somebody's been raised to believe you're the enemy just for the way you think, what do you do about that?
I don't fucking know. That's the problem. Is that the only thing that I can think is, we talked about it last week, the great American poet Tupac Shakur. If there's no need for you to fear me. If you take the time to hear me, maybe you could learn to cheer me.
You can't keep bringing up Tupac.
I'll bring him up again.
You can't.
You
gotta stop that.
I'll sing. That song comes from, or that verse comes from the song Ghetto Gospel, which is my favorite song he ever wrote. You should fucking look it up. But anyway,
I'm not gonna do that.
The best thing that I know, like, to do is just to continue trying to get to expose these ideas and to try to get my voice heard and try to say the truth and try to promote other people who are saying the truth. But I understand also that while I'm doing that, there are people who believe that different ridiculous things are the truth and they're trying just as hard as me. And that makes me want to try just even harder, because every second that I'm sitting down not trying to teach science, there's some asshole out there spreading bullshit, working a little bit harder than me, and people are getting hurt because of it.
Yeah, but a lot of them don't even believe their own bullshit. You can't look. I don't give a fuck who you are. Look me in the eyes and tell me Alex Jones believes what he's saying, and I'll tell you Alex Jones is a fucking flam man.
Him and Jerry Falwell and all them, and Joel Osteen. I don't think they believe their shit for a second.
Well, Joel Osteen is a pastor.
Yeah, so is Jerry Falwell.
But Alex Jones is not a pastor.
No, but they're in the same vein.
I just want to say he is not. I guess you could put him closer to maybe a John Hagee, right? Didn't we talk about Hagee once?
I think so.
Maybe we didn't. I was talking about Hagee with somebody else recently at work because we were talking about different TV evangelists that our families watched when we were young.
We probably talked about him privately, but not on here.
Yeah, John Hagee he's the one that always comes on. He's got a big mural painted on a brick wall. It shows the fucking 11 cycles of Jesus cutting everyone's head off or whatever in Revelations. All that good shit.
Yeah.
The helicopters or the locusts and the here comes the Vietnam. You know what I'm talking about. The meteor will kill you and the wasp will sting you and this sting will burn you for 7 years. And you gotta buy this book now because it tells you all this. Those types of dudes.
Crazy.
You could maybe say Alex Jones is like that. Because Alex Jones, my problem with him is that he'll be you could tell him hey, we have this evidence that says you're lying. And he's just
that's what the corporate media globalists want you to know, want you to think that I'm lying.
And then he'll go to court the next day and admit that he's full of shit and say he's just an entertainer.
He's just a character. Yeah.
Because he's getting a divorce. He doesn't want to lose the kids. She took the kids.
Also, I've been called a globalist a lot by people who hate globalists.
Well, people don't understand that we already live in a globalist society.
am a globalist.
You can say that all you want, but again...
Everybody should be.
That's fair. People are afraid of one world government. They're afraid of the Zions, the Zionists, the Zionist government. They're afraid of the Jew world order. You know?
God.
People are afraid of a lot of silly things that aren't real.
See, that's why I have to watch my fucking mouth, because when I talk about like bringing order to the world in a new way, people are going to be like, "Oh no, it's a new world order." Or when I talk about fucking like, I want to what was another one? Like I just want to just make sure everybody has food and unite.
Yeah, no. My
and everyone's like, "Oh, that's one currency. It's the one government."
No. Here's the thing. People always say that, "Oh, new world order bad." Okay, well, you tell me what is good about the old world order.
Right, the one where we had slaves and shit.
Yeah.
When was that fun? Like,
what's good about the current world order?
Honestly, it's the same. What kills me. It's the same people who are like, you can't take America government away. We can't change the government. The government's exactly what. They're the same fucking people that have the fucking don't tread on me flag.
Yeah, but you can change it. And we also, I think you and I both agree that you can change America. And we also even brought up one time that we agree that America should also, as much as possible, stay America. It should still be its own nation. Just like any other nation.
We discussed the fact that...
But the one world government thing is kind of a separate concept from that.
Yeah, we discussed that the one world government thing is problematic because then there's nobody to check authority. Without multiple people with bombs.
But you should still be able to get all the nations in a room together and agree, like, okay, let's come up with a plan to feed and water all the people.
Right. Right.
Like, let's figure out how to, like, stop burning down all the rainforests because we all benefit from them existing.
Right. Like the fucking...
the glaciers are melting and breaking. Like that, what that one glacier just fucking broke off is like massive. Mm-hmm. Just broke out in the ocean.
That's
terrifying.
We have two... Like, I'm not disparaging, like, soldiers or veterans or anything.
I'll tell you one thing that... Go ahead.
Okay.
No. Yeah, sorry.
Without disparaging veterans or soldiers or anything like that, we have a Veterans Day and we have a Memorial Day, right? We have 2 different days in this country celebrating war. We're celebrating soldiers who fought and died or came back, after fighting. Like we're celebrating war. And that's, right. Hooray for soldiers. We talked about this on the first episode. You can support the military without supporting what it does or like what war is. Yeah, exactly. Wars, yeah. So like fucking amazingly impressed and blown away by people who sign up to do that shit. I would never. You're fucking amazing people. But like we have 2 days for that. We don't have a fucking holiday to go vote. What the fuck? We have a day to, these people went out and fucking fought and shot people so that we can have a democracy. But we don't have a day about the democracy? What the fuck is that? Like, it's super weird to me.
Day, though. It's called vote day.
Yeah, but it's not a holiday is what I'm saying. Like, you get days off work for fucking Memorial Day.
That's true. You should be,
we should have a day off work to vote. And that's like, and I know this is kind of like out of left field, but the point is like, it's the fucking, what are the fuck are the priorities here, you know?
You should get the day off to vote.
Yes.
I mean, but that's also like, you're technically
when we're sitting here talking about like, we can't fucking have money. No, you can't.
They're required
to give you a break to go vote.
Oh, okay.
They're legally required to give you a break to go vote. Like, fucking Memorial Day, you get the whole fucking weekend off to go get shit-faced and float in a tube. But you can't fucking get one day to go fucking do the most important thing in the country.
I was at work all Memorial.
Yeah.
All Memorial Days.
But, like, it throws me fucking for a loop. And then, like, we talk about healthcare or fucking food. And people are like, who's going to pay for that? We can't fucking afford everybody having healthcare. That's going to be bullshit. But we have fucking more money than anybody in the whole fucking world, literally. More than our fucking allies, like the top 12 countries combined, for fucking buying aircraft carriers and bombs and fucking... It's like, what the fuck are our priorities?
What fucks with me, and like I was going to bring this up earlier, but it comes back to like with the people and misinformation and stuff, is like I've been listening to both sides of the story on global warming and climate change so long that I've been able to witness firsthand which side is correct.
What do you mean?
You can see the effects. They've been telling us about what was going to happen since we were in elementary school.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And now we're watching it happen.
Yeah,
we're watching it get warmer. We're watching it. The ice caps melt.
Yeah.
We're watching the deforestation. We're watching the worldwide droughts and fires.
The fact that like
we're watching the sea level rise.
9 of the hottest years on record have been in the past decade.
We're watching it happen, and they're still doing the same arguments.
Yep. Well, because fucking look who discovered global warming, though. The scientists who noticed global climate change worked for fucking fossil fuel companies. And they were modeling, like, projections of, like, how, like, what they're doing and how it's going to affect things. And, like, they were like, hey, if we keep doing this, we're going to irreparably fuck shit up. And these major companies were like, shh, we'll give you a lot of money if you never tell anybody that. And that's what happened. And, like, now, for the past, 2 decades, or 4 decades, we've been saying, like, hey, see how exactly what we said was going to happen is happening? And we're like, nah, come on. There's no evidence. It's not real. Here's this graph of 36.5 months, and you can see that it's very flat. And it's like, why'd you pick that really arbitrary number? Because if you look at any graph with any trend on a small enough scale, it'll look really flat. You don't know what you're talking about. This is the graph. It's fun. Like, this
is the graph.
It's the only graph.
This is the one.
It's just, fuck, man. You look at fucking CO2 in the atmosphere.
I look at it all the time.
Right now, we're at over 400 parts per million of carbon dioxide. We have been for years. What that means is if I take any random 1 million molecules out of the atmosphere, any random million molecules, over 400 of those will be carbon dioxide. And you're like, oh, well, that's 400 out of a million. Who cares? That's the highest it's been in over 600,000 years. The last time it was this fucking, like, hot, humans hadn't evolved yet. Like, it was so long. Like, it's people just don't fucking think that that's a fucking deal. Like, that's a matter.
We're just gonna adapt, man.
No, we're not, man.
We'll just build better
We're just
ACs,
gonna die.
bro.
We're just gonna die, and life will adapt. New life will come along. New species.
We'll do it.
But not us.
No, us. We'll do it, man. Humans will just adapt.
We've got fucking one planet to work with. We are one species. We are one race living on this one planet. And we have one chance, one life to get it right. And so many people are ecstatic to fuck it up. Because if I tell you that fucking if you move into a new house and I'm like, hey, we're gonna fucking repaint and redo all the carpets like in a month. Are you gonna fucking take care of them? Or are you gonna not care if you spill and smear shit on the walls?
I'm definitely gonna not smear shit on the walls.
I'm just saying, like, are you gonna, if you fucking, splash something on the wall, are you gonna fucking, if you dump a fucking pasta all over the floor, are you gonna really try to fucking scrub the stain out? If they're replacing everything in a minute? I've said it before and I'll say it again. Not. Fucking 44% of this country believes that in the next 50 years the world's coming to an end because Jesus is coming back. 44%. If you are going to get your carpets replaced next month, are you going to fucking take care of them? If you believe in the next 50 years the world's going to end, are you going to take care of it? If you believe that everybody's already prejudged, neither gets to go to heaven or hell, are you going to take care of people? Honestly?
I remember when I used to I was still trying to reconcile my non-smooth brain with my religious beliefs. And I tried to make the argument to people like, oh, well, like, we have to respond to things like global warming and stuff because, like, God gave us the planet, right? So if you don't take care of it, that's not good either, right? That'd piss him off too, wouldn't it? So I tried to, like, be like, like, that's part of being good, right? Is, like, being good to the planet and the fucking animals and shit. And one day I realized, like, you don't need all that.
You don't.
You just need to stop being stupid.
Yeah.
Because there's not a God. But there is a planet.
Spoiler alert, y'all. There's not a God.
I just know that the planet's actually here and the results of man-made climate change are, like, real. And it's very sad. I mean, because I do have kids. And I do have to, like, fucking drive cars to get to work. And I do use electricity to live my modern life. And, like, it's like the same thing with, like I have an iPhone in my pocket. And I use a laptop computer to make videos and music and stuff, right?
Yeah.
That's all made by slave labor.
Do you know those fucking...
Everything I enjoy is made by tiny hands.
At the iPhone factory?
They don't get paid enough. The nets, I don't want to talk about it.
I do for a second.
It makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah, it should. It fucking should. At the iPhone fucking factories in China, they literally have giant nets installed all around the fucking outer perimeter of the factory because so many people try to kill themselves by flinging themselves from the fucking windows.
Okay, what are you saying, Forrest? They shouldn't have nets?
Rather than fucking making their working conditions livable, rather than paying them a fair wage, they spent the money to install suicide nets. That's the fucking world we live in. Is it, hey, we can either make sure these people get to see their families, or we can spend just a little bit of money and put up nets, and then they can't kill themselves, and they'll have to keep going to work.
And you guys bitch about there not being manufacturing jobs, but if we put manufacturing jobs in the U.S. again and we built iPhones here, nobody would be able to afford them.
Exactly, because we'd have to pay living fucking wages to those people. And like, and even that, living wages is a fucking joke in America.
What the fuck is the problem here?
And like everyone's
how do you fix it?
Everyone's like fucking, oh, nobody wants to work anymore. Are you hiring? Yeah, we're gonna pay you fucking $7 an hour, and you're gonna work 80 fucking hours a week, and there's no overtime. I don't want to do that. Nobody wants to work anymore.
Children are dying in the lithium mines to make the batteries for everything that we use.
Yeah.
They're kids.
Yeah.
They're dying mining cobalt too, I believe.
Yeah.
It's all very important. We need the shit to build the stuff to propel humanity into the future. We also need to find a way to do it without killing people and exploiting the fucking indigenous populations.
It's been a long time since I read this.
It's 2021.
It's been a long time since I read this, but so like fact check me on this later. People listening, fact check me on this as well. The nickel mines in, I believe, Canada that they use to mine the nickel to make like Prius batteries, like electric car batteries and shit. They are so fucking toxic and destroy the ecosystem around them so bad that like NASA uses that area to like test rovers and shit because it looks like an inhospitable like moon terrain because these nickel mines are so fucking destructive to the environment.
Yeah, I know it's real now. Well, it's strip mining too, right? So is it,
strip mining's even worse. It's crazy because we have strip mining, we have fucking where they literally take the top off of a mountain to get into the mountain. It's like, you don't think that's going to change anything at all, honestly? And like you said, fucking destroying people's lives.
But how do you go fucking mine mercury without mining a little bit of earth first? You know what I'm saying?
Just like, a little bit.
How do we progress if we're not taking these massive
That's the thing, man. We have to figure out how to treat humans like human beings before we can get to Mercury. Otherwise, we're just going to have a galactic dictatorship. We need a galactic republic.
Oh, yeah, you'd never be in charge of a dictatorship.
Absolutely not.
Dictators.
Nerds.
Nerds.
Fucking, in Indonesia right now, they're clear-cutting rainforests, destroying acres and acres and acres of rainforest, destroying not only habitats of species, but also completely displacing or even wiping out indigenous tribes so that they can plant straight rows of palm trees so that we can harvest palm oil and put that shit into fucking makeup and beauty products and all sorts of, like, that's what fucking veganism. Everybody wants to fucking talk about, oh, veganism, we gotta save, we treat cows like shit, I agree we treat cows like shit. You know how fucking bullshit veganism is? It's classist, it's ableist, it's fucked up. First of all, people can't fucking afford it. It's expensive as shit. Second of all, you're exploiting these fucking native populations because you want to eat quinoa and that's their fucking staple crop and you're making them grow fucking 8,000% more than they need so you can ship it up here to America, destroying their fucking environment so they can grow fucking acres and acres of fucking quinoa. Plus, what are the major replacers in fucking vegan shit? Is peanuts, soy, and wheat. Like the biggest food allergies in the fucking world. Are you kidding me? Like, not everybody can fucking do it. We need to be focusing on fixing the meat industry, not just making a new bullshit industry that makes you feel fucking superior so you can sit there with your fucking man bun and your twisty mustache and tell everybody how good kale is. Fuck you.
But that's
we
how
need to fucking fix the cows.
Capitalism only works if somebody feels superior, Forrest.
That's a very true statement. I don't like how true that statement is.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm like that. And then people are like, Ben, you're stupid. And I'm like, I actually know what the fuck is up. And that's always been the problem.
And I'm stupid.
and I'm stupid. Stupid. You're mutated. I'm just saying, like, it's true though. Like, capitalism only works. Like, you have to
if you have
the person
power
who's
over,
like, fucking, oh, I want to be that.
Yeah, and that's what sucks. Fucking Patch Adams talks about that all the time. Fucking people want money and power over somebody else, and that's all that this whole fucking world cares about. And it's sick. It's fucking sick.
Like, yeah. Like, a lack of money and power is basically what has driven me.
Yeah.
My entire life.
Yeah. Because, like, I want to be able to live, like, okay.
Freely.
Yeah. I want the freedom to make my own decisions and not just be like, well, I guess I have to fuck. And, like, people, you know, you talk about, like, healthcare, for example. This is similar. Fucking how expensive this shit is. If you're fucking well off, if you're born to a good family and you get sick, then you go to the doctor immediately, you get it fixed up, you're good, you're out the next day. If you're like you or me, fucking, I just recently got some, like, very minimal insurance through my university this year. Like, I went to the doctor this year for a minor health problem. And that was literally the first time I had been to a doctor in almost a decade. I do not remember the last time I went to a doctor before that.
Yeah, I haven't been to the doctor since before I had my first daughter.
Yeah. And how old is she now?
She's about to be 8.
Yeah.
And then as far like I got these glasses are about a year old now. Mm-hmm. I got them a year ago. Before that, I hadn't replaced my glasses since before I met you,
which was in junior high.
Yeah, so it had been at least I had my glasses for over a decade, and I finally was like, and it was when I put the new glasses on, when I put them on and went back to my house and sat down on my bed and I looked around my room and realized how much I hadn't seen for like 10 years.
Yeah.
I like actually like fucking had like an emotional reaction.
Yeah, I bet.
Because I was like, oh wow, I can read things that are like 6 feet away, and I just realized that I've been not doing that.
Right.
For forever.
Yeah.
I had just gotten through it.
Yep.
I had just gotten through life.
You're telling me
at a severe disadvantage, and I kept doing shit like that to myself.
You're telling me that you're gonna do well in like a school or a college setting when you can't fucking read the board. You're telling me you're going to get ahead at work when you can't fucking see? And, like, it's a fucking... It's more than just, oh, I really wish I could go get my toe checked out. Like, they're real fucking problems. There have been times in my life where I have been vomiting blood and made the decision...
I have seen this.
Yes.
I have seen this firsthand.
Yes.
This isn't like
I forgot you were there for one of the... Yeah. There have been multiple times in my life where I have vomited blood. And these
aren't like... this is an American tale.
Yeah. And made the calculated decision to not go to the doctor about it and just kind of wait it out and see if it gets any worse because I can't afford it right now.
Lots of people deal with this all the time.
I'm not special in saying this.
And a lot of people will say it's because of their own decisions, but I think sometimes it definitely is because of their own decisions. Like I should have made better decisions when it comes to my own health, but I wasn't taught to. Mm-hmm. I also didn't have the means to.
It also should
combine those two fucking things. Not taught to, don't have the means to.
It also shouldn't be a life sentence. That's a problem
that's not going to fix itself. It also should not be a life sentence. If I forgot to take care of myself for 5 years, I shouldn't die for the rest of my life.
You just turned 30. What the fuck happened when you were 15 that you deserve now for the rest of your life to fucking suffer? Like, that's the thing. It costs time. It costs a lot more money to go get the fucking, like, cancerous tumor removed because you didn't go get the stomachache checked 5 years ago and it fucking festered and grew. Like, that costs a lot more money. And more importantly, it costs human fucking lives. People want to bitch about, like, oh, well, if we do healthcare, where's the money going to come, bro? It's going to cost so much. I don't care how much it fucking costs. It costs lives for us to do it the way we're doing
These are the same people, by the way, who get mad at the fucking things like Georgia Guidestones and shit. They get pissed off because they think there's a whole elite world organization trying to limit the population, but they constantly do things that cause death and destruction.
It's just fucking insane, man. And it's because of fucking bullshit misinformation. It's because people tell them, well, if we do universal health care, then you'll never get to see a doctor because there's a waiting list that's like 3 years long. Really? It's funny that literally every other industrialized nation in the entire fucking world has universal health care, and somehow that's not the fucking case. It's a problem so complicated that only America can't solve it.
Yeah,
interesting.
Well, and what I don't like too is that they'll point at those systems and they'll be like, "Oh, look, it has this problem," and as if to say that any time a system has a problem,
it's completely useless.
Flaw,
yeah,
you can't use it at all.
And as if fucking the problems that we have aren't fucking 10 times worse.
Yeah, people just literally work themselves to death because they can't afford not to.
Yes.
And then their family like lives without them, and they're like, "Thank God they worked themselves to death so that we have a nest egg."
And they're like, "Well, it's better that it's a good thing that they didn't have health care because then we'd all be poor. If my taxes go to help that poor fuck, then how can I know I'm free?" God damn. Who the fuck said it? It's been attributed to a million different people. When the power of love,
Tupac, dude.
When the power of love overcomes the love of power, then the world will know peace.
I don't know. Is that Bob Marley?
Who fucking knows?
Fucking Bob Marley.
It was either Bob Marley or it was John Lennon or it was fucking MLK or it was Tupac or it was one of the
all extremely flawed individuals.
And if there's one flaw, throw it all away.
To be fair, they are. Like any philosopher you ever can think of had major flaws.
Oh, for sure.
My
favorite philosophers, I can point to fucking shit that I'm like, yeah, you know what though, you're kind of an asshole here. Like, yeah.
They were all horrible people.
Everybody who ever had a statue built of them was one kind of a son of a bitch or another. Another one of my heroes, Malcolm Reynolds.
Every man that ever lived was a piece of shit.
Literally everyone.
The end.
But no women.
No women. I wouldn't go that far.
It's about time for us to wrap things up. I got mad.
I know, we were very negative.
I was real loud. I yelled a lot. I'm sorry.
I'm coming from a dark place because I've been spending a lot of time at work. I'm not seeing my family, and I don't know if my life is panning out.
I'm unbelievably stressed out.
The way I wanted it to.
This country's fucking...
I think we were supposed to have a lighthearted conversation about, like... man, aren't, like, homeopathic medicines silly?
In all fairness... These, like, when we talk about alternative medicines and shit, it actually does really piss me off. Like if you haven't watched it, I don't know if I've suggested this or not.
JonTron.
Yeah, JonTron.
You keep suggesting it to me.
Yeah. Go watch JonTron do a thing about Goop. Gwyneth Paltrow's. You did two videos on it. They're hilarious. They're fucking hysterical. I can't watch them because I get so angry because it's unbelievable to me that this fucking shit exists in this world.
And that's not even the worst thing.
It's not. It's far from the worst, and that's what kills me.
There's like different, like, I mean, any time, just go online and just type in like Lumeria.
Look up the good
Lumeria
chiropractor
versus Atlantis.
Look up the good chiropractor on TikTok and tell me you don't want to fucking walk into the ocean.
That'll lead you to some websites. Like anybody who does like alien channeling, like they'll sell you some devices.
Also, why the fuck is TikTok? It's recommending a lot more lives to me, which I understand why they're doing that because they make a lot of money off their lives. Like,
yes.
The company makes money when you do, but like. It is not even close to the algorithm at all. It's just throwing. It gave me the live. You know that fucking Karen, the guy who freaked out in Costco and is like, fucking, these masks are tyranny, and all the people are like, fuck off. He's fucking big on TikTok now because he's such an asshole and everybody gives him so much attention. So I keep getting his lives pop up, and it's all just like, I got 100 people watching me. Hey, fuck Biden, y'all, and like. Fucking, it's stupid. I keep getting pastors and preachers and shit and Bible studies popping up for me because those are fucking. I keep getting all sorts of MAGA bullshit on my. It's insane. I got one that was literally just like getting our nails done without masks. Come watch, and it's like, why the fuck are you? It's just because it's controversial. You're just pushing it to me because it's controversial. Like fucking, God, TikTok's weird, man.
It is weird. It's also weird. Like, I mean, I don't know. I suck on TikTok. I've never gotten more than 650 views on anything.
Look up Hendrix or else. Is that what it is?
No. Oh, no. No, yeah. If you want to look me up on any social media across any platform, just try at Bendrix or else. And that will be Bendrix, Bendrix or else. And that should pull me up.
Yeah. You do graphic arts and things.
I do fucking things. Yeah. But yeah, like on TikTok, I think that's the highest I've ever hit. And like, I don't know how it works.
Yeah,
I have no idea how it works. I think it's all entirely based on what sound I use.
It's weird.
I think it just depends on the sound. If I use good music, I get good results. If I use my own music, I don't get which is fine. My music is for me.
Yeah.
It's not for me. It's not for you. It's not for you. Unless you want to pay for it.
Then you can have it.
You can have it.
Thanks so much for tuning in.
I'll lick a shoe for $5.
I'm gonna lick a shoe. We're gonna wrap up here because time has happened. Time occurred, and now the podcast must end. Yeah. Thanks so much for tuning in. As always, we always appreciate you being here. Have an awesome rest of your day.
I hope you like this one. I hope I feel better next time.
Yeah, I hope.
I don't think we had a bad show, but I know that
we got real yelly.
Yeah, it was very.
Let us know in the comments below if you liked us getting yelly. We'll do it more often.
They always let us know. You're all cool cats, and
oh shit, you're just gonna throw around compliments like that.
Grimy Grimersons. I love each and every one of you.
Yeah, man. There you go.
I get up in the morning for you guys.
You feel that? You feel that warmth?
My life is a fucking pit of despair. I have to do things like this.
Otherwise, you just sink.
I'll go insane. I want to build a network eventually. I'd like to build a
we have to figure out how to get a goddamn RSS feed working before we can do that.
I actually know a guy who knows a guy. I'm the guy. I know a guy.
Is it you?
No.
Okay.
I'm the guy who knows a guy.
Oh, shit. You're my connection. We'll get there. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'll see you guys later. Have an awesome day. Bye.
Bye.